G'day guys, before we hop into today's vlog, I just want to remind you to hit that subscribe button. From now on, I'm going to be putting out daily vlogs every single day. I'm going to be tracking my process, playing these 126 max games, hopefully moving up in stakes. But even if I don't, you'll get to watch me fall on my face every single day on this YouTube channel. So make sure you hit subscribe so you get the new videos as they come out every single day. For now, onto the vlog. G'day guys, welcome back to the vlog. It's currently 5:15 AM here in Melbourne. I'm tired, I'm hungry. You guys already knew that. I always have it this time of the morning. So I'm gonna get the feed in, and we're gonna get the poker in. Okay, so it's about 6 AM at the moment. Finally got a full feed in and I'm feeling much better. I'm ready to start getting these hands in. So without any further ado, I'm gonna go get in the game. Hey there, so it's about 3:10 in the afternoon at the moment. I've just wrapped up my second poker session for the day. Ended up playing a total of 6 hours and 43 minutes over both sessions for a grand total of 1,712 hands. So yet again, smashed the 1,500 hand goal out of the park. Stoked about that, obviously. In terms of results for the session though, not quite as stoked, down 444. And whilst I do like the repeating numbers, obviously those weren't the results I was hoping for at the end of the day. In terms of my gameplay grade though, I'm going to give myself a B for this session. I do like how I played for most of the session. Same thing I said yesterday, where I probably played like my A game for 95% of the session, but I do think when I started to run bad in certain spots, I did not brush it off very well. I did let it tilt me and affect my play. And I also think I started to fatigue towards the end of the second session. So I think that fatigue issue I had last week, I think that's starting to come back in and affect my game yet again. And I sort of did get a few hands where I played tilted and ended up getting stacked when I don't really think I needed to get stacked if I played them a bit better. So I think there still was the times where I played hands well, I do think, but can't really give myself that high of a grade when I was making those key mistakes in big hands. So let's go with B. Before we go on to today's hand history, I do want to say that I'm considering taking tomorrow off just because those fatigue issues were starting to creep back in. And obviously I started a bit of a mini downswing last time. I noticed these issues and I sort of tried to play through it, still put in volume, but I'm sort of in two minds, haven't really made my mind up. I will consider not playing at all tomorrow if I think that's going to help, but trying to keep me away from the poker tables is usually going to be a pretty hard task to achieve. So we'll see about that. So as I mentioned, I did start to go on tilt towards the tail end of this session due towards fatigue and sort of having an emotional reaction to some bad beats, which is very silly considering I cop multiple bad beats a day, typically playing 1,500 hands. And unfortunately, I do think that tilt affected how I played this following hand. So the action folds to an unknown button who goes ahead and opens it up to 5. Then I'm in the big blind with King 9 of spades. I decided to just call here. I think that's a standard move I would do most of the time. I do just want to say though, there is some merit to 3-betting this hand, trying to take the pot down now. But in general, I think calling is the best option in my opinion. So that's what I do here. I call and then we go heads up to a flop. It's a pretty interesting flop. It is Queen Jack Jack with 2 spades. So we do flop a straight flush draw. It's pretty nice. I go ahead and check it to the pre-flop aggressor. Then my opponent goes ahead and bets 11. So obviously a pretty big bet considering the pot's 11. The action's back on me here. And I think I have a pretty interesting decision on this street. Whether I want to raise or just call. Obviously not going to fold a straight flush draw just yet. I actually decided to go ahead and check raise it to 33. I'm sure you don't need me to explain to you guys why semi-bluffs are good in poker. I'm pretty much happy if they fold or if they call. But I think that's a slight mistake in this specific spot. And the reason for that is when my opponent bets pot on this board in particular, they're representing a very strong range of hands. Stuff like a nut flush draw, stuff like a strong jack, an overpair, maybe even a queen. So when I do check raise, I just don't think I'm going to be realizing fold equity that often. So I think in that spot, it's probably better to just play cautiously and call. Regardless, I do make the mistake and check raise it to 33. And then, as you can predict, the button does call. So we are still heads up to the turn, which is the 6 of diamonds. the action's on me here, and I go ahead and make what I think is a pretty significant mistake. I go ahead and bet 39. I think this is a mistake because, like I said on the flop, when my opponent bets that big, it's with a strong range of hands, and when they actually call a check raise, like, that's an even stronger range of hands. So I don't think I'm ever going to be able to fold out any of those strong hands with just betting 39 here. So that's why I think it's a pretty significant mistake. But like I said, my decisions were heavily influenced by the tilt I was feeling from just being overly emotional about some of the bad beats I copped, and also due to the fatigue. This was like, I think this happened in like my last 20 minutes of playing during the session. So I definitely think those influenced me to make what I think is actually a pretty significant mistake and continue to bluff here. Yeah, I already thought check raising was a mistake. Obviously, this is even worse. Regardless, I go ahead and make the mistake, and then, surprise, surprise, obviously my opponent does call this bet. We go heads up to a river. The river's a good one, actually. It is the 10 of diamonds, so absolute luck box. We do make out straight on the river, and now we kind of hope that our opponent does have a strong hand because we can get paid off with a very easy decision. I go ahead and rip it all in for about 120. Then my opponent snap calls with pocket jacks. So yeah, they did flop the full house, and obviously they're going to stack us in when we play the hand like this. I just really think I could have gotten away from this one. I probably don't even need to see a river if I play the hand more cautiously, and I really do think I brought this one on myself. So there you go. That's how bad I play when I'm on tilt. So obviously I do think the fatigue did influence the tilt I felt and the poor decisions I made in that hand. So I am heavily going to consider not playing poker at all tomorrow, but you guys know me. It's hard to keep me away from these poker tables. It's hard for me to stop. So no promises that I won't play tomorrow, but I will consider it. I promise that much. That's going to wrap up the vlog for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching as always. Make sure you go ahead and click that subscribe button so you get these daily vlogs as they come out. But for now, I'm out of here. Peace.